Well, hello there, all Doordash restaurants and app gig workers. Today, let's talk about stop risking app gig workers' lives. Now, yesterday, I went to a restaurant I hadn't gone to in a while. That's a big time chain, and they used to be real good with the curbside service. And they'd have them lined up, just stacked like pancakes, from customers to app gig workers, and there'd be like 7 people at a time over there. And they have just gone so far down below, it's just like nobody wants to take orders from them. They just don't. And I was in hopes they might have straightened out. And I had talked to their corporate office and the manager there, and they were like, "Oh no, we would never turn away, the app gig drivers." And yeah, because they know how much money is going through the to-go service right now, because of the sickness going on. And if we shut down again, you better be prepared, you know because your main business is going to be to go again. And with the numbers increasing like they are, it does not look good. Another fact, you're risking people's lives. You're risking your customers' lives. You're risking your app gig workers' lives. I'm seeing a lot of violations with restaurants, where you can't open a bar. There's a lot of stuff that can't be open. The strip clubs can't be open, but restaurants can be open. And the ones with bars, it's like going in there on a Saturday night. They don't care. Their employees don't care. Most of them aren't wearing gloves or masks, in the kitchen or outside the kitchen. And they're all huddled up together. I went in one the other day, had like 8 employees within about a 5-6 foot range together near me. It's like how many chefs does it take to make the soup? You know what I mean? This is really, really important. And the worst part is the restaurants, once you pick it up at the bar, there's always some customers sitting right next to where you got to pick up that's not wearing a mask, and the bartender is not that far away from you, and they're going to take their time to wait on you and everything else. When that food needs to move, it's just sitting on the counter. It's not under a heater or a cooler. It's just sitting on the counter expiring. Which, can be very dangerous health-wise for, certain meats and that sit around for a while. By the time it gets to the customer and everything else, make them sick. That's not the way it's done. There are more to-go orders than there are in-house orders, and you know this because your restaurant capacity is supposed to be reduced. And a lot of you people are violating, and I hope everybody turns you in and shuts you down, because you don't deserve to operate, especially when there's others that will operate in a safer basis than you. I hope every one of your employees that gets sick sues you. I really do. The gig workers don't have a lot to collect if they get sick. And they need to work. They have families, They got cars, and they put a lot of money in their cars. And the commercial car insurance you got to have to move these products and everything else. It's not a simple little game. Okay, it's real serious. These are serious people that are doing a serious job and trying to help people that are in lockdown and quarantine, and get them fed. And people that just choose not to go out in public. I don't like to go in any enclosed place anymore. It's so bad. It's so bad the way they operate inside. I don't care what business it is. It's just not even safe to go inside anymore. So the word is to go. To go. TOGO. to go. It doesn't mean we sit and babysit you till you figure out how to make the food, when to make the food, because your chef is pushing the button that says food ready, that you got an order and nobody has prepared it. This food's supposed to be ready when the person picks it up, okay? Whether it's your customer or it's app gig worker, it's supposed to be ready. In a fine dining restaurant, ask any professional chef. It should take no longer than 7 to 8 minutes to prepare a full meal from scratch. So if you can't do that, you need to invest in a better chef. Because you're wasting your time and everybody else's time. If you want to keep your doors open, because really there's no money in food, there's money in liquor. Okay? But this running these bars and these restaurants like it's Saturday Night Live, forget it. I have no interest in going in there. And I've done several vlogs about this. Now, here's the thing. There's one restaurant that's a big time chain, and they probably have 250 parking spaces in their lot. The building's not that big. It's probably 4,000 or 5,000 square foot total, I would say. But what they did in the beginning was they wrote a real nasty letter on the Doordash app for the delivery drivers pickup that says, do not park in our to-go parking spaces, which they had 2 in the parking lot, by kind of between the front door and the back door. And it was kind of towards the front of the lot, which customers will park in that too, and they just go in the restaurant and eat. Nobody watches it or governs it. And it was really a nightmare because when those spaces were open and there's people parked all over the lot, they didn't want you to park in them to pick up an order for DoorDash. And it's like, really? If nobody's in the parking space for to-go, then why can't a DoorDash driver park there? I mean, how stupid is that? So, here's the deal. This particular restaurant got so big on doing the to-go that they now have not only their 2 little spaces that are marked, but they have 8 parking spaces, and they actually went out with contractors paint, like that street paint, and the bright hot orange, and then just wrote in big giant letters right here, to go, and it's all along this. So they have 8 to-go spots. Now, and let me tell you how serious they are about that. If a customer, an in-house customer, has parked in one of those spots, they will go through the restaurant and find them and tell them to move their car. Why? Because those spots stay slammed 80% of the time. All of them. You know how much money that is? You know how much food that is? Even if it were, and this is not a cheap restaurant, even if it were $25 per to-go app gig worker parking, okay, that's a lot of money. If you figure that's $200 when those are full, if that can fill up one time an hour, is $200 an hour. If they stay full, that's huge money as long as you can put out the food. You're talking anywhere from $400 to $1,000 an hour in to-go food, where you don't even have to fool with people coming in the restaurant and worrying about reduced capacity and having people stand around and wait for a table. You better think this one out. Now what they do is they have front door over here. This side door says to go. And nobody's supposed to even go in there because that protects the employees that work there to be one or two people that work this back end. And they have a desk and a table here. And then the kitchen's right here. And the employee watches for the cars coming in. Even though Doordash has now engineered the app where they can see what kind of car you drive. And they know that you're there to pick up that order. They watch for your car, and as soon as they see you park, they come running out there and ask you the name on the order. Then they go running back in, and it could be anywhere from 3 minutes. I've waited an hour and a half there, unfortunately. They really must have screwed an order up one night. I don't know, or they were trying to be rude. But it's amazing. They'll run right back out, hand you that order, wearing a face mask, and you should pull your face mask up too. Even though you're outdoors, it's just the proper thing to do. They're wearing one in the heat and everything. You should wear yours. Even though the outdoors is so much safer, but still you're in close proximity. You're less than 6 foot apart. And that works out exceptionally well. So the restaurants that have moved to this service where they pay, one girl or 2 girls or guys to just run that food in and out is 100% plus. 100%. That's serious money. Like I say, at a minimum, if you're talking a $25 order minimum, okay, per order, which this restaurant is a higher end restaurant, so the orders, really average around 50 to 100 each order. So that's a lot of money. So you need to think about it. Stop risking these app gig drivers' lives and jobs and families by being retarded. These people started with 2 spots. They went and painted another spot. They decided, well, we better paint 2 more spots because it's creating a traffic hazard in the parking lot when you've got drivers that don't have the intelligence to park somewhere and wait. They will just block your driveway because they don't have the intelligence to figure out, gee, I probably shouldn't be blocking the driveway for their customers. And then just wait their turn, But these people, they just kept going and going and going and going and going. I mean, they sprayed this is about, probably about 2 foot big, says to go, with a spray can. They sprayed the lines in with a spray can. Now, you can buy these signs and all this stuff. Your supplies for your restaurant is tax deductible. But you can buy these signs for $30, $40 for the different app gigs and all that. Or make your own signs. But, I mean, yeah, this looks messy. But you know what? It works. These people are making money hand over fist. And it makes it real nice to go down there and pick up orders. The one that they do over at Thank God It's Fridays, which now they're trying to be prejudiced and refuse all Doordash drivers and make you come into the restaurant and there's no social distancing and it's a really bad spot and customers always sitting at the bar down there. So there's not even 2 foot space from a customer with no mask. No. It was nice when they left it like it was, but it's like they turn it on, they turn it off. They turn it on, they turn it off. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. It's not worth it when you're paid $3 for a delivery to play that game. We don't get paid by the hour, everybody. We don't get paid by the minute, and we don't get paid wait time. They used to do wait time several years ago with Doordash if the order took a little longer than planned. For me, you got 10 minutes. 10 minutes of my time. I don't see that food going in my hot bag in 10 minutes or less, I'm going to cancel that order. Watch me. And I'm not the only one. With DoorDash, as long as your rating doesn't go below 80%, you can cancel that order, because as soon as you take another order after that, it'll raise your percentage. You can't do it all the time, but watch it. But I'm going to tell you, restaurants, you need to figure it out and see where your money's really coming from. Because right now, all over the United States and Canada, is coming from to go. So, and think about this, saving you money on employees. You probably need to hire more chefs or faster chefs because they can't keep up. But you're hiring less wait staff in that. And yeah, I feel sorry for them, but the thing is, where's your money? Look at your sales for the day. How much do you have in to-go orders with these app gig services, or customers even, versus your in-house sales? And then figure it out by the hour, your overall hourly average. What's worth it to you? When I go up and see a restaurant has 8 to-go spots, that's impressive. I'm seeing they really like their to-go stuff. They really, really like it. And how hard is that? 7 minutes to prepare a meal. A girl to run it out to the car. And the driver leaves to go deliver. Another one pulls right in. How hard is that? And don't you feel better at the end of the day when you're not risking everybody's lives? That's right. So think about it. Think where your money's really at, and think for the future, because if we go into shutdown again, you better be ready, because we don't have time for the restaurants that play games and and make us wait around and all that kind of thing. I cancel the order. Cheers. Milk does it body good. Yeah, because it's a waste of time. We don't get paid enough for that. Are you going to tip the drivers? Is your restaurant going to tip the drivers when we have to go inside or we have to wait a long time? Probably not. So, think about it. Think where your money's at. Stop risking the gig workers' lives and your to-go customers' lives when you don't have an adequate setup inside that's safe. Otherwise, I hope that everybody reports you. I hope everybody reports you so you get busted for operating your restaurant like that. But the more people, delivery people, that keep refusing your orders and they just sit there on the counter is for a reason, so stop and think about it. You're driving your business away. It's like, what's that old saying? Cut your nose off to spite your face? That's what you're doing. And then when it's all time too late that you decide to do it, nobody wants to come. So better get with it now. That's where the money's at. People are not wanting to go out of their house right now. And we're looking at a situation that may last 2 years. Is it worth the investment? 100%. Absolutely. Okay? This is probably one of the few times in my entire lifetime where food really made money. Because as a rule, food does not make money. Liquor makes money. And those dinner houses that have liquor with food make money. Because they could sell the liquor and the customer doesn't leave because there's something to eat. Because that's the first problem with a straight bar with no food in-house. and they get hungry and they want to leave and they're like, I'll be back. No, they won't. They're going to leave. They're going to go get food and then they're not coming back. So you guys have got a good gig going, but figure out how to run it. It's not, a mental midget can figure this out. You know, it's all in those numbers, and the numbers don't lie. That Jewish piano does not lie. So get with it. Stop risking your employees, your customers, and the gig workers, and stop being prejudiced. I can't believe that one restaurant. Well, all Doordash people have to come inside. They can't use our curb service now. And if you don't like it, and it's like, wow. You know, I wished I wouldn't have taken the food. I wish that little joker would have said that while I was there before he handed me the food, and I would have said, okay, thank you, I'm canceling the order. And then I'd just roll my window up, cancel the order, and not come back. I gave them a second chance, only because their manager begged me and told me weeks ago, oh no, that's a mistake, that's wrong, that's wrong. I even talked to their corporate. And I don't do this just for me. I do this for all of the app gig workers. Okay? Because it's not fair. I need to get this figured out. You know, me, I work all over the states for Doordash. I'm not worried about your little restaurant. If you're going to be a poo-poo head, I just don't need to come back. But I would hope to straighten it out for all the other app gig workers and the workers that work Doordash. So they don't have to put up with that stupid mess. Because we're losing money. We are losing money when we have to sit around in your to-go for a $3 order. You know how many $3 orders it takes in an hour to make minimum wage? How long does it take to wait for the food? How long does it take to get it to the customer? And then how long does it take for another order and to do it all over again? Yeah. Okay, and like beginning app gig workers are lucky if they get one order an hour. Okay? Yeah, till they get it all figured out. Because then it's like a masterpiece. You know what you're doing after a couple months. You suddenly become pro, and you know how that money runs. But there's no money in us waiting around. You know, waiting around for them to come to the car or to you if you're standing in a restaurant, and then waiting around for the food to be ready. Why is it not ready? Every once in a while, there'll be an order that's hung up for whatever reason. But not all the time. People get tired of coming to your business. You can't have the food ready, bye-bye. You know, this is our job. It's not just a holiday affair. You may think it is, but it's not. Okay? So please think about the money. Plan this out. See where you're at. And, you know, if you can get up to where you have 8 to-go parking spaces in your lot that are only for to-go, you must be doing something right. Talk to you later. May the money tree crash on your stage. But restaurants, please stop risking app gig workers' lives. You need to organize, sort out, find a good, safe spot in that restaurant where it's not around a bunch of people. If you want the people that, you know, app gig workers to come inside, or people to come inside. Most people are not coming inside. If it says curb service, it better damn well be curb service. Or they're not even going to order from you if you don't have curb service. It only takes one employee to run that. How hard is that? A 12-year-old kid could be doing that. You know? It's not that hard. You know? Move that food. Make that money. You know? Give other people work. But $3 for an hour? Playing with you? Trying to get that food and trying to get it delivered to the customer? I don't want to go back. So think about it before it's too late. Think about it before it is too late, my friend. Because it's all about those Benjamins. And if you can't make that Jewish piano sing, your pockets aren't going to ring. Got me? Talk to you later. I know I've been in the bar and restaurant business a whole lot of years. That's right. Owned them, run them, and worked them. Been there. Been there, done that. Talk to you later. Have a great one. Love to you. And Dashers, dash on.